she goes, I'm going to get you back one day when you least expect it.
Oh, and that was it.
And that was it.
That was payback. The Matt Damon comment was payback.
It
could have been worse, Teddi.
It could have been worse.
Because that's like a good notch on the belt, if you ask me.
I'm grateful that I had told my husband prior.
Right, because poor Edwin's sitting there. How did he respond to that?
He was like, well, I mean, what are you going to do?
And today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Lollies. I am obsessed with these lollipops. And the thing is, allergy season is in full swing. And these make all the difference in the world. They're effective, they're delicious, and they soothe those sore throats. So use code ALLERGYSEASON and head to their website, mommy'schoice.com. That's spelled MOMEEZ choice.com for $5 off your next purchase. By the way, if you need an after dinner snack, just what the doctor ordered. Teddi Mellencamp Arroyave. Did I pronounce it right even?
Ish.
Let's do it.
Arroyave.
Arroyave. Okay, I still said it wrong.
Pretty close.
Teddi Mellencamp, welcome to Not So Hollywood. I am so happy to have you.
Well, thank you for having me. I love your beautiful setup here.
You've got a vibe going right now that matches the setup.
Well, I planned it. Actually, I didn't. I just wanted to be comfortable in the car. I went straight from doing my podcast to here. I actually have my daughter with me that she's in the back, as you know, and now I have to sit in the car after this for 3 hours. So I was like, I need to be comfortable.
And they look fabulous if you get pulled over, but still comfortable.
I mean, comfortable, you know.
I'm just wondering how candid we can get with Slate right here.
Slate's far enough away that she's not really paying attention.
She's not listening, is she?
Yeah, she's not
she's
listening.
coloring. That's cool.
She's good.
Thinking about the horse meat later.
Yeah, she's heard it all.
Is that what it's called, a horse meat? Not to be confused with horse meat that one would eat.
No, horse competition.
Horse competition.
Yes.
You equestrians.
We are equestrians.
This is one of your many not so Hollywood things. You ride horses.
Yes, and that's what I did for a living until I had Slate, until I got pregnant with Slate. And then I still tried to do it after I had her. And I realized I cannot travel the way that I'm traveling with I honestly would bring her and a nanny and we would stay in these hotels and we were traveling around the country. And I was just like, I can't do this.
No.
I'm not even seeing my husband. I feel exhausted all the time. But now that Slate's into it, I get to do it again.
So you're like a horse mom or sort of stage mom when it comes to horses and Slate.
Except I ride too.
So you guys are both riding simultaneously?
We're both riding. So I bought a couple of horses as investments, but also that Slate and I can both ride. And then she does the junior hunters. I do the AOs.
This is like a full bonding experience.
Oh yeah, we are obsessed. Like Edwin and Cruz, they're like all into the football.
Right.
Bella's into her volleyball, and Dove is just into bossing us around.
Yeah, and chilling.
Yeah, like
she's a boss.
She is such a boss.
It's always the last child that like sneaks in and gives you the hardest time.
No, but the problem is I also don't discipline her. Like the other kids have like that little amount of fear of me.
Yeah.
She is like, go kick rocks, mom. Yeah. I'm in charge. Anything you say does not go.
I would be scared of you as a mom. Like you've got that down home side that can come out. Not scared, but in a way of like, you're tough. You can be tough.
I am no nonsense for sure.
Right.
Like I will have the most fun, but if you start being disrespectful or you start being mean to your friend, like there's anything like that,
correct.
I'm like, no, we will leave. Or if like Slate, talks back to me at the horse show, I'm like, fine, we're done showing.
And that's
she
why
knows she knows I'll pull it from her.
But look at this, a parenting tip. You actually have to be hard on your children because that's when they listen to you. Dove, not so much.
No, Dove's not so much. And I mean, I think also is following through with the things that you say you're going to do. So like, I told Slate when all of her friends got phones, I let her text on her iPad and do whatever. And then I saw some text that I didn't like. And I said, I'm going to take it away if I see anything else. Saw it again. And I took it away for 1 year.
So she's phoneless.
Well, now she has one again, but like only when we're home. But it was gone for
a year.
1 year. All my friends are like, what? You took it away for a year? And I was like, yes.
Yeah, there is no messing around with you.
Yeah, there's...
Another thing I love about you, You know how to grab a headline, Teddi Mellencamp. You know how to grab a headline. It's like you break a nail and the press is picking it up.
I don't know how I asked my publicist, I'm like, is this you? And she's like, unfortunately not. It's just you. Like you create whatever it is, regardless, good, the bad, the ugly. It's out there no matter what.
Listen, and you can say things that shock people. Jeff Lewis's show, something big came out of that.
And that was Tamra. For the record, let it be shown, I did not out this person.
I saw that. That is true. You did not.
But every headline says, Teddi claims to have, and I was like, listen, I did not say it. Tam and I had a private conversation, and there was something I did on the podcast, and she goes, I'm going to get you back one day when you least expect it.
Oh, and that was it.
And that was it.
That was payback. The Matt Damon comment was payback.
It
could have been worse, Teddi.
It could have been worse.
Because that's like a good notch on the belt, if you ask me.
I'm grateful that I had told my husband prior.
Right, because poor Edwin's sitting there. How did he respond to that?
He was like, well, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, it could be worse. It could be if it was something that happened when one of us were in a relationship, like all of it, right. We're clear. We're in the clear during that time frame. And I still to this day have not confirmed it was that person.
Oh, you don't even know if it was him?
No, I know who it was.
Okay.
I just haven't publicly confirmed what Tamra said.
Does he have a lookalike out there? Something like, okay, but honestly, because I used to interview him a lot on the red carpet when we were at Access Hollywood and stuff, one of the nicest guys, at least from what I remember.
From what I remember, he was one of the nicest guys.
Do you know who another one of my favorites is? Not kidding. Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he was there.
That like in the room?
No, okay, at the nightclub. For the love.
We're just trying to, break news here.
Yeah, no, he was at the nightclub.
He is so damn hot. Not long ago, we interviewed him and there was this string when he had his movies coming out and then he got back with J-Lo. This was recent in the past couple of years. And I remember like one night I had a dream about him and then I woke up and I was obsessed with Ben the next day. Obsessed. When you have a dream about someone, you can't get them out of your head.
Well, no, then you think it's reality and you're like, what?
What just happened?
I just watched Jury Duty with James Marsden.
Oh.
And now he's in my head. I'm like, stop. Don't have James Marsden in your dreams.
Wait, James Marsden is from the fantasy movie with Amy Adams, right? James Marsden.
Enchanted.
He
was in Enchanted.
He's a good-looking guy.
But his new show, Jury Duty, you have to watch it. It is a must-watch. It's where an entire group of actors are cast. The only well-known one is James Marsden. He's playing himself, but like a douchier version of himself.
Oh.
And one person on the jury duty is actually a person thinking they're reporting to jury duty. And there's hidden cameras. So it's like a Truman Show meets,
like Punk'd.
Yeah.
Where is this airing?
It's airing. I just watched it on Amazon Prime.
Okay. All right.
It is
We've got
so
homework, folks.
good. And because the guy that doesn't realize he's getting punked is so lovable, and like the cast, it's just all like it's all surrounding him, so he doesn't catch on what's going on, and it's really good.
Okay, well then that's reason to like James Marsden.
Yeah, so
at least he's doing a good project right now.
Yeah.
You always tee it up for us on your Instagram. That's like always something to talk about, and you just said you're a nepo baby.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that oftentimes people say so much about nepo babies. Like, and now there's shirts, like all the younger generation of nepo babies are wearing those shirts and doing all of that. I never necessarily thought of myself as a nepo baby until I became an adult and people started making a bigger deal about it. But growing up in South Carolina, people aren't like, ooh, your dad, like everybody just kind of knew it. They've all known me since like the second grade. Like it was just.
And your parents were separated, is that right?
Our parents were separated. I grew up with my mom. My dad would come to like the volleyball games or whatever we were doing, but nobody ever really made a thing of it. It wasn't until I came to LA that people were like, oh,
your dad's John Mellencamp.
Yeah, you're this. Oh, you can get into this club. You can get to this reservation. Like you can use it. And it was only because my first boss at CAA, he was like, can you make me a dinner reservation at so-and-so? And I was like, I tried, I couldn't get it. And they were like, well, he's like, drop your name. And I was like, huh?
Right. You didn't realize the power you had with that last name.
Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea. And I was like, oh, what do I say? And he's like, just call and say you're calling on behalf of John Mellencamp. And I was like, what?
Oh my goodness.
And it worked. And I got him reservations. And I was like, oh my gosh, feels disgusting.
Right. It's cheap, but you know what? When I need it, I'm going to use it.
Yeah, but it helped my boss out.
I've pulled I have a VIP with me many times and I don't. And it still works sometimes for a reservation.
Yeah, because half the time these restaurants aren't even full. They're just saying
they're just
that
waiting for somebody. That's so LA, isn't it? I feel like there's a misconception also with Nepo babies that you're immediately given carte blanche to everything, which yes, you just talked about sort of the advantages of it, but it's not like you're people, all parents who are successful or in the business are throwing money at their kids.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I grew up and I understand my privilege. Like I had an amazing childhood, parts of it, and also some really dysfunctional parts of it. And growing up,
many of us.
Yeah. Like most kids, you have some really highs and some big lows. But I think ultimately the biggest thing that I learned from my family was like work ethic. Mm-hmm. And like you have to work for what you want. Like, which is why I'm not saying those, the Nepo babies that are different, that's something wrong with them. But like I didn't have a trust fund. I didn't come to LA with a ton of money. Like my parents were like, we'll ship your car and the rest is up to you.
Totally.
Like
and
you
they
figure
gave
it
you
out.
Values, but obviously that seeped in and trickled down because now that's how you parent your kids.
Yeah. And I have fight. And I appreciate that fight that they gave me, like that resiliency, like keep working, keep fighting, keep believing in yourself. And you're going to make a million mistakes, but something's going to stick.
How many times have you gone to your dad and said, like, I need advice on this, in the business, because obviously he has a greater perspective than most being in it.
I would say most of the time I go to my dad for advice. It's personal.
Okay. Like
something going on in my marriage or my relationships or like personal stuff I talk to him about. When it comes to business, we're a little bit different. I care a lot. Like I'm
we both do.
Yeah. I'm an overthinker. And he'll oftentimes say to me, like, who gives a fuck, Teddi? But it's just not who I am.
I know.
And
it's
I can't
the type
pretend
A crazy
us. I can't pretend to be something that I'm not. So yes, I'll call him to tell him exciting things that happen in business, but like business advice,
but it's more personal with you when you go to him.
Like, hey, I need to know. Like, I know I can be a know-it-all, but in this instance, am I right here? Do you see my side? And he oftentimes will show me the other side in a way that I can't hear it from somebody else. And I would say that I do the same for him.
Oh, that's incredible. Because he's dated quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, who would be the perfect woman for him in your eyes?
I think, anybody that can have conversations about more than fluff.
Mm-hmm. Because he's an artist and the music and...
He's not one of those, like, you don't get in the car and like put on like pop and like dance. It's not who he is. Like he wants to have deep, meaningful conversations. He wants to talk about things that are way above my pay grade.
Well, he's
like,
talked about guns.
Listen, I talk about Real Housewives for a living and help people change their life.
Well, that actually is, you're making a big difference with that.
But can I just say that as a dad of two girls, I think that's like the greatest answer when you ask about your dad, a famous person, about business. No, not business. We talk personal. Like that's what the answer really should be.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's giving great advice to her.
Yeah. Not just like, we talk the business. No, we talk about the personal stuff.
He's a good talker. He is like, when you sit there and talk to him, like if he's in it, like you will laugh your butt off. He also will give you good advice. He also he's not gonna blow smoke up your butt.
Right. Like some of the people here.
Yeah, like he's going to tell you it like it is.
Let's talk about you and how amazing you look and All In, because this is obviously something, All In by Teddi. I have friends who swear by the program.
Oh.
I have a girlfriend, I told you this. I was out to lunch with her a couple weeks ago and she said to me, I lost it was the healthiest I ever was because I consistently was losing weight each week with All In by Teddi. And I want to know kind of a little bit about the program. And are you following it right now? What's going on?
I mean, I've been living it since I decided to go all in. So the backstory is throughout my entire life, I'd always struggled with my relationship with food, exercise, and, growing up riding horses, there was a certain aesthetic that I'd always tried to meet, but I didn't meet it in the healthiest of ways.
And what were you doing?
I just was like having Diet Dr. Peppers and string cheese.
And that was your diet.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
was my
That
life.
it.
Like, it was like, I am going to ride a million horses. I was a working student and I did what I needed to do to like
Get by.
live.
But you realized it wasn't a healthy approach.
I realized it wasn't a healthy approach. And once I had kids, that's when I knew like I need to change this. And I had always, then when I came to LA, I had started using food as like my comfort. And I had gained, over 100 pounds and I had lost it,
but when you were pregnant,
prior to that. But then once I got pregnant, I had a couple of miscarriages, and then with the kids, I had IVF, and I was on all these hormones, and I was really struggling. And that was during the hardest part of my life. I was struggling in my marriage. I had 2 little kids. I wasn't working for the first time. Of course, being a parent is working, but I wasn't like going to a job and making money, which it was the very first time.
That's a big problem to me too. It hits your ego hard.
It was the first time I remember like looking at my husband being like, I'm going to go to sushi. Like,
right.
I didn't know how to even be myself. I had lost my identity a little bit.
Completely.
But I also knew that I wasn't feeling good in my own skin. I would hide in every photograph. So I just got to the point where I was like, my marriage is failing. I'm not showing my kids the lifestyle that I want them to live. And I started an Instagram account and I just said, hi, my name's Teddi. Follow along if you're interested. I'm changing my life today.
Wow.
And I used Instagram to hold me accountable to changing my life. And I posted all my workouts, what I was eating, all the things. And I didn't make a cent for 365 days. It was not about a business. It was about changing my life. But throughout that year, I developed a following because people either want to see you succeed or they want to see you fail.
Right.
But
also they love a transformation.
Yeah,
and if you're coming from the bottom and you're moving up, they love to follow that journey.
But throughout that, what I saw was people kept reaching out and saying, we want to do what you're doing through Instagram, but we want to have you coach us. We don't want to put it on Instagram. Like, that's crazy. So that's and at first I was very like, no, this is a soul journey. This is only about me. I can't be focused on anyone else. And then what I learned was the part that's going to keep me accountable and keep me on the track of being healthy and taking care of myself is actually being accountable to others.
So you needed that accountability.
So I needed that accountability, and it started really small, and it started like I, would have 40 clients and I just managed them myself. But the biggest thing for me was, especially once I booked Real Housewives and all that stuff, and I'd already had this business, was a lot of people kind of wanted me to sell out and say, you know what, just hire all these coaches and bring in people and let's make this great. And I was like, I can't. Everybody that I've promoted to be a coach was once a client, because you have to believe in the program. You have to practice what you preach, and it has to be something that you have to have struggled. I knew where I used to struggle when I'd come to LA and I'd go to a Soul Cycle class and I'd see, this fit little instructor, and she'd be like, let's go, blah, blah. And I'm like, you don't know what I've gone through. You don't know my life. I had this big chip on my shoulder and I also, unless you share your story, unless you're vulnerable, people aren't going to relate to you.
It's true. And I don't know any of my friends, family members who haven't struggled with weight, with being healthy. And I do think, like you said, if somebody else has struggled or with an eating disorder, there's better camaraderie between the two. How many people want to join your program because you are a celebrity?
I think that ship has sailed. I think at the beginning, the first time Real Housewives aired and they said I was an accountability coach, I think we got 10,000 emails that day. But I think now people go because of its referral and just knowing that how well it works, and it is a lifestyle change. I say, truthfully, if you're coming to All In because you want to look hot in a bikini on spring break, don't come.
Yeah, you got to really own into that.
This is like a real lifestyle change, and it doesn't have to just be about weight loss, but when you are in a place where you're not comfortable or you're not taking action on the things that you want to do for yourself, everything else in your life starts coming unglued. Whether it's your job, your marriage, your anything. So oftentimes, yes, people disguise it as I want to lose weight, but really it's, I want to take action on the things in my life that I'm not doing.
And it's a great way to take control.
Yeah.
It's so true.
I think it's really about your mental health. So for me, I struggle with, I'm diagnosed, I have anxiety and OCD. And for me, if I don't move my body and I'm not taking care of myself to a certain extent, I don't feel good.
I don't feel good.
I really struggle and my anxiety gets out of hand. And so it's like, these are actionable things that I can do. You don't need a chef to do them. You don't need a personal trainer. You don't need any of those things.
You have to step up.
You have to make the decision what you want. I'm all about feeling good in your own skin, no matter where you are. But you have to actually really believe in yourself. So, and feel good about yourself. And if you truly do, great. But if you're hiding something or you're not feeling 100%, you got to figure out what it is, because we're not going to feel great every day. I woke up at 1 a.m. last night for no reason. I've been up since. Do I feel great right now?
Just stewing.
No, but like, I know what I need to do. Like, I did my cold plunge, I rode my Peloton, I did all the things because I want to have a good night's sleep tonight.
2 teas in a pod.
Yes.
You guys do a lot of like trash talking on there, right?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. We say you're only as good as last week's episode. So we are very
only as good as your last performance.
Yeah, like we're very fluid about who our favorites are and who we're loving and who we're not.
Who do you not like?
It really depends.
In general, like across all the platforms, all the different housewives, is there anyone you're just like, that person annoys the crap out of me, or you've had a bad experience with? I know Vanderpump, right?
No, I would say, I really, at this point, I'm coming at it from a different perspective. Like, I understand why everybody does what they do. And I have to go in and say, all right, I'm watching it to evaluate who's on the show at this point in time and what they bring to it. So for me, like, there has to be someone that's chill, that moves storyline along, but that isn't involved in the drama.
Right.
Yeah, there's going to be the shit stir. Yeah, there's going to be that. Like,
you were the shit stir.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that everybody kind of has their place. But I have my favorites. Like right now, what's airing? New Jersey's airing. And like Jen Aiden can be a very controversial character, but like, I love her. I love watching her.
Anyone who's compelling.
Yeah.
Anyone who gives me cringe, I'm so into.
Yeah. Like, I think that she shows a lot of her life. I think you see the good and the bad. I don't think, do I agree with everything she does? Of course not. But if I did, she wouldn't be a housewife.
Right. That's the whole point. You got to have somebody on there who's going to do the things that you might never do, and you love to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw you sitting there on your Instagram watching the season premiere of Housewives OC with Tamara.
The trailer.
Yeah, the trailer. And you're like just dying. You're cringing like the rest of us, going, oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening. Somebody threw a napkin at someone. Like,
and that was Tamara, my co-host.
Oh, I want to ask you this. So I met one of the heads of Real Housewives, one of the installments, and she said to me, never, ever, ever consider doing the show because it could ruin your life. What is your take on that?
I actually think it made a lot of parts of my life better. If you have something you have to hide, don't do the show.
Right.
If there's something that can ruin your life, if there's something
but like the Erica Jane thing.
Yeah, but I don't think so that she knew there was anything she was hiding.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So if you blatantly are going in and you're saying, okay, I have to cover up this portion of my life because if anyone finds out, it'll ruin my life, then don't do the show. But like, I went in kind of like, all right, here's what it is. They didn't show the bad parts, but like my first season, there was a lot of really hard things that I showed, even in regards to me and Edwin, and they never aired. But what it ended up doing was me watching myself back. I was like, oh my gosh, I nag my husband a lot.
You became self-aware from it.
And then I also realized, like, why am I, like, even watching when I was pregnant, like certain things that I was like, this isn't who I am. Why am I acting this way?
Like you were crying a lot and you're not even a crier in real life.
Yeah.
I know.
But it just, there are parts that can be helpful. Of course, it's very drama based and it's a television show, but I think you can see parts of yourself and grow from it, or you can see parts of yourself and just be stuck. And I think that I took the opportunities to go, okay, I learned from these mistakes, and you know what? These ones I'm not learning from because it's who I am. And yeah, sometimes I can be petty.
Mm-hmm. And let's face it, on the other hand, it's a great push for business.
It's a huge push for business. So I went in thankfully already having a business, so it didn't feel like I created something while I was already on a show. The Housewives will sometimes get heat because they come on and then a couple seasons in, they have this like new business they created.
The store, the drink.
You had yours. I had mine already, and it
just helped catapult.
Yeah.
What I just have to ask you, Steve, I know you've been following this story too. Okay, so there's this like triangle: Raquel, Tom Sandoval, and Ariana,
yeah.
whatever the hell. I feel like, okay, listen, I'm an entertainment journalist. I follow these things, but where in the world did the interest and intrigue come from with this triangle? I don't get it.
I think
You
because
think they were Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and Jen Aniston?
it is so involved. Well, I think one, now it's, back in the Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie era of affairs, alleged affairs, Instagram wasn't, I don't think Instagram existed.
It may
correct?
not have. No.
So it wasn't like you could get press at your fingertips. Like now it's like you open it up and you can't escape it. So I think that's one. But two, I think the show was actually airing and you're seeing in real time these other affairs and relationships happening. And then when you're being lied to as a watcher, you get even more invested. So I think that's what made it so intriguing is like, hold on, you're watching. It's not just an affair. It wasn't like Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston were best friends.
Exactly.
And Angelina Jolie was carrying Jennifer Aniston's like position on the show.
Were they really close on the show?
Yes.
And in real life, best friends?
And last night's episode, Raquel, like Ariana says something along the lines of like, I think Tom's cheating on me. And Raquel's like, if that's true, I have your back. I'm paraphrasing, guys, so don't come at me if I don't have it 100%. But she's pretty much saying, I've got you no matter what. And meanwhile, she's the one
She's having sex with him
Yeah.
on the side. That is cringy. Oh.
So I think there's just...
Okay, because I don't watch the show, in fairness, but it's just, it really took every single news headline.
Well, I think also it's different because in this world, whereas like Brad Pitt, you never heard him really say anything about it. Tom Sandoval went on Howie Mandel.
Right.
And did like a full alleged narcissistic rant. Like it was crazy.
Well, listen, and that's the other thing is like, I never comment on people's relationships because there's so much behind the scenes that you don't see, that you don't know about. Apparently he was trying to get out of the relationship with her and she didn't want. Who knows though, right? Who really knows?
Who knows? Because he shouldn't be sharing any of it because the season is not over and we should be watching it play out. Your job right now is to only give us this much. You decided to step out, let us watch it out, and then we'll see and we'll make our own decisions. You trying to convince us before we watch it play out is bothersome to me.
Okay, so you're not Team Tom. We know that. And Raquel, what's your take on her?
I think, listen, I did some dumb stuff.
Didn't we all?
I made some really bad decisions in my young 20s.
Not Damon.
No,
that's not one of them.
I'm kidding. I was 19. Just kidding. I don't remember.
Here we go.
But no, I made some bad decisions myself. And I think everybody's, we have to see what she's going to do with it. Like you see it, you see this season, it kind of as it's happening, she's making one bad decision after another. She's also coming out of a really toxic relationship. She's trying to get herself as like a key part of a show that's missing its key players.
Yep.
Like I just think she's fumbling. Like you're seeing her just make a lot of bad choices. And I don't think she should be, when it's getting to the point where like, people are vandalizing stuff.
Right,
Like,
they hate mail. She's in a mental facility. It's just like
it's too much.
negative. Okay.
And by the way, it's him.
So, well, come on.
Why does everyone always blame the
The guy's
women?
never responsible. Although I do think he has, because all right, let me backstep for 1 second. He has taken a major hit in the business. So it's coming down on him.
The business hadn't even opened.
No,
Please.
Tom.
What he owns 5%.
You're like, who reads a Tom anyway?
Who cares? And it's not taking any hit.
Wait, Steve, send me that ball of paper over here because I want to ask you a couple of questions. I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay,
now.
go.
Like, Teddi, did we even make any news here? Because you better drop something right now. Drop it like it's hot.
What am I dropping?
I don't know who else. Celebrity crush, celebrity past relationships. We know about.
My gosh, I'm trying to think. There was a time where I was really. I can't give too much away, but if you ever went to Joseph's nightclub, that's where
there.
a lot.
Was that Monday nights?
Monday nights at Joseph's. That's where all of it happened.
Just give me some.
It really was Monday night at Joseph's.
Monday night
that was
at
such
Joseph's.
a thing.
I was there the night that Britney started up her relationship with K-Fed.
No.
Yes.
Were you friends with them?
No, I was just there.
She's bystander.
And I remember
like
being
Ben
like,
was the bystander.
what? I mean,
Okay, so JT, did you ever have a moment with JT?
never had a moment with JT. He actually wasn't very nice in general, any passings I had with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't. He never gave me
Were
the
you like,
warm
do you
and
know?
fuzzies.
You know I'm a nepo baby.
I
Did
was
he-
like, I
my dad
snuck my
is.
way in here with an ID that somebody's name's Carol.
Carol. Okay, wait. Give me initials of a hot old, like a celebrity you hooked up with one time, long time ago. We'll get to the bottom of this before
Okay.
the 3 minutes are up.
NR.
NR. Is he a A-lister?
I'm not. That's all I'm giving.
NR.
By the way, you're assuming it's a he.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it could be. It could be.
I know
anyone.
Teddy. She's not down for that. Okay, hold on.
never know.
You
You
never
don't
know.
know
Her
young
past
Teddy.
life. Wait, NR. Nathan Singer.
Nicole Richie.
Oh my God!
Could
That
you
was actually
imagine?
good, Steve.
I do love Nicole Richie. May or may not be.
Okay.
It could be as true as.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Teddy.
It's gonna drive you nuts. But
Now
no,
it
I
is.
never.
Okay, fine. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, and I will pull it out at some point. About LA and you and your favorite, a few faves. Ready? Fave LA restaurant.
Craig's.
I love it.
I
It's a
love
tried and true.
Craig's.
Yeah.
Craig used to be my neighbor, and I knew him when he worked at Dan Tana's.
Of course. Back in the
And-
day. We came up at exactly the same
Yeah.
time. I mean, literally.
I mean, in that club that was next to Dan Tana's, what was it?
Oh,
You remember that? The lounge or something.
yeah,
the
the-
lounge.
yeah.
The lounge.
Yeah,
Favorite place to shop?
Revolve. I do it all online. I never go into stores to shop. I think because of my past issues, for me, it's easier for me just to get stuff, try it on. If I like it, keep it. If I don't, send it
Those
back.
are all the boxes in front
Yeah.
of your house. Favorite boozy brunch spot?
Fave boozy brunch. I love Catch.
Oh, yeah. Steak?
No, well,
But steak is bomb. I love
steak is
now.
bomb, but I love the other Catch.
Okay. Up at the rooftop there.
What other boozy brunch places? I'm really like a margarita gal, so I am down for any place that has a good marg.
Okay.
Good, spicy, skinny.
Spicy skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you turn into? You go from Teddy to
Tequila Terry.
Tequila Terry.
Tequila Terry.
Favorite surgery you've had done?
My neck lift. By
It
far.
looks. I need it. I and a boob
You-
lift.
why
I
you
need
don't
a
need
neck
it?
boob. I just need it to come
That
from
you
my
just want
shoulders
them
and
to
just
go like this?
lift it all.
No, I love my neck lift. It was something that I never liked my side profile ever since I was little. There's like I'm going to mess up with the bones.
A goiter? Is that what's called?
Yeah. Well, no, not a goiter.
What's a goiter?
Did
Oh,
you
goiter.
say a goiter?
what?
Oh my gosh. No, but it was just always kind of like this. And so she went in and by the way, her name is Dr. Sharmila Sunder. She changed my life. She was so amazing. The recovery was great. She made me feel comfortable all the time. I don't feel like I didn't come out being like, oh, I don't look like myself.
No, you look
I
insanely
just look
gorgeous,
like
too.
a refreshed version of myself.
Okay, thanks. Sharmila.
Yeah.
And then lastly, what's a perfect Friday night to you?
Perfect Friday night, home. I'm
bed
one
with-
of those people that if we can have an early dinner, we go to 5:00 early dinner, near where we live, we just walk to one of the restaurants and then come home, we watch a movie, or my kids are super into boxing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We just chill out and then asleep by 9.
Yes. Glass of wine, in bed by 9, with the kids surrounding us.
It's
and
scary
dogs.
how attractive
Nick,
I
I
find
mean,
a woman
Nick.
saying 5:00 dinner in bed.
Yeah, you had homework during this time. NR. Who is it? Not Nicole
I
Richie.
named it.
But you may get it, but
I will
you'll
be
never
researching.
you'll never say who.
I will be
Because
researching
you're not
after
going to
this.
Tamra me.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to say it.
No, you can't say
Fine,
it, even
then
if
we'll
you
just
get
leave it for everybody else to figure out. Okay, Teddi Mellencamp. I'm not even going to attempt Arroyave.
That was pretty good.
Is it?
It was pretty good.
Okay. Thank you. I love you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
See you.
Bye,
See
y'all.
you Sunday at football.
Okay. Literally. Hey, boss. I love her. Oh my God, I say that every time. Okay. Teddi is, and I have felt this about each one of our guests. which means it's a really nicely curated group. She is so uniquely strong, interesting, dynamic. She's a ball buster and she's a hard worker. And I like all of those qualities. And I also like that she cares to grow. Have you ever heard a housewife say, I watched myself and felt like I needed to make some changes and it actually helped me grow? I've never heard that.
She actually, maybe I don't know her well enough. I would say, talk about preconceptions of people. Is that the right word? Misconceptions. I would say she answered most of the questions differently than I thought she would have.
Really?
Like the one I brought up about her dad, John Mellencamp. Like, how is he helping in the business? I didn't help me in the business. I talked to him about personal things. I just thought that was like, oh. And then like, what do you think of Housewives? Was it too much? No, actually, it kind of helped me, and I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
Like
her spin is unique.
Yes, that would be.
She's got a great spin. Also, she's, just to put it out there, she's a Cancer. Her birthday's July 1st, and we're both the same age. And not that this matters, but I feel like when we met first, because our kids are in football together, when we first met, there was immediately a connection there. She's our kind of people, Steve. You know what I mean?
Like you said, maybe all our guests. We've just pulled together people that we really like. I don't know. But I found like they're all very, and she reminded me, like, just candid. And I just feel like for everybody who's listening or watching, like, that's exactly how they came and exactly how they went.
Right.
That's the only way.
The only one who's made up here is me because I need a little extra help. But the rest of them come in looking dynamite and they're dressed down and chill and gorgeous. And
these people come in and it feels like not so Hollywood. Like I said, they come in, they sit down, we do it, then we sit around and chat and they leave. And it could have been with the cameras or without.
Yep.
So
and
whatever that means.
She's really done a great job, her and Tamara Judge, I'll say, of making a really successful business out of podcasting. They are doing it right.
Rock and roll, baby. Episode 4. Nice job.